Merab Dvalishvili versus Tim Welch. What is going on and who would actually win in a street fight in this video? Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Yo, assalamu alaikum, my nigga. What's good?
Merab Dvalishvili will face Sean OMalley in his first ever title shot at UFC306 at the Sphere in Las Vegas for UFC Noche UFC Riyadh season, whatever you want to call it, right? So the thing is, normally it's fighter versus fighter, and every now and then the fighters do beef with each other, which always makes the matchup more interesting, at least for the majority of the fans, and gets more viewers, right? So in this case, it's a little bit different. Whilst Merab does beef with Sean OMalley, they go back and forth, but in a funny way, in my opinion. At least they both make funny videos back and forth. I really enjoy it, and I do think that this is great promo for the fight, and will definitely make many more people actually tune in, buy the pay-per-view or stream it or whatever and watch the fight, right? But the thing that is going on as well is Merab is beefing with everyone, and everyone is as well Tim Welch. Tim Welch is the head coach of Sean OMalley. Now, normally I would say, hey, coaches should stay out of the fight, kind of. They should not trash talk the opponent or something. But you have to see it's a little bit different. It's not Ray Longo, who's like 70 years old and just is an old school guy that is like no real social media, whatever, and just does his thing. You have a guy in Tim Welch who, until a few years ago, was an active fighter himself, who is still very young, still actively training, and most importantly, has a podcast that comes out 2 times weekly, or 1 time weekly, goddammit, with Sean OMalley, right? So it's not like he's just randomly posting videos trashing the opponent of his fighter as a random coach. No, he actively talks with Sean on a podcast hours and hours a week. They talk about everything, and they obviously talk about Merab, so obviously he's going to make some comments, and obviously he's more engaged than the average coach. So in this case, I have no problem with it, because Tim Welch is not calling him out. He's just saying why Sugar will beat him, how Sugar will beat him, but he always acknowledges, hey, Merab is a very dangerous fight. He always does that. And of course, if you talk a little bit of trash, it could be sensed as disrespectful, but he never really crosses any lines, just calls him short and stuff like that.
I didn't see this short guy, bring him here.
And Merab just shows how insecure he is, because I saw with all the guys from the team when I was there at the Red Hawk, he blocks everyone on Instagram from the team there. Just because they post a little bit of trash, people with like 1,000 followers post something about him, a little bit of, haha, Merab is short, he's gonna lose. And he's blocking them on Instagram, and he's calling everyone out and texting them on Instagram as well before he blocks them. Like, yeah, I'm gonna smash you, blah, blah. Like, bro, how insecure are you that you can't even take a little bit of banter from people without threatening them online? And I have to say, at the events, when he goes to people that talk trash about him, if they really say something really bad, I understand it, because people should face repercussions for their words, especially if they say it face to face. But on the other hand, it's like, hey, you're a professional fighter, you have kind of an obligation to the UFC and just in general to stay professional. And if someone from the crowd just yells at you, hey, Merab, you short, and you jump over a fence to smack him after that, you are insecure. You are really insecure. If he talks about your mom or something, hey, I understand that even though it's still the wrong move, it's always the right move as a professional and as a famous person to just ignore them and just be like, hey, they know exactly that you would beat them in a real fight, and that's what it all comes down to, right? What I was trying to say is, so Merab gets really angry at Tim. He's like, he's your coach, he should not be talking about me in this video. He's just coach. Coach should not be involved. My coach not talking shit about you. Why you talking shit about me, Tim? I'm gonna smash you when I see you. Like, he's always threatening Tim to smash him when he sees him and blah, blah, blah. And he will not wait until the fight starts in the octagon to go after his coach if he sees him, it's on site and stuff. And I'm like, bro, how stupid are you? Because let's just go hypothetically before we come to who will win. Hypothetically, He sees Tim Welch with Sean at the PI or whatever and decides to attack him. So he just decides to go after Tim Welch and he sees him from the side, whatever comes, boom, hits him, hurts him, whatever. Maybe he has the power to hurt him, who knows. What's gonna happen? The chances that your fight is gonna be called off because some commission steps in or something is pretty high. So your first ever title shot, and also the UFC could step in, right? The UFC could be like, hey, you cannot just assault someone especially in our premises, like in the UFC PI or something, the coach of someone that you're fighting and stuff, you cannot just do that.
That's fucking illegal.
You will face repercussions for that. You will not be eligible to fight for a year or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's his first ever title shot. Do you really want to risk your title shot? And second of all, first of all, also with an example, Arman Sarukian, when he attacked the fan in the crowd, what happened to him? The Athletic Commission banned him for a certain amount of time. Why did they, what would be the difference is Merab would attack him before the fight. That means that they could probably even ban him from the fight there. Arman was just walking to the octagon, so the commission couldn't do anything anymore. You know what I mean? Plus, if Tim hits you in the street because you attack him and you have a cut or something, Merab is not too far away from cuts at the moment, the fight could be off as well. If Tim hits you in the street and he hurts you, which is very possible, the fight is off as well. You know what I mean? So what do you get from it? Nothing. So now the question, what happens if they actually clash? Now what you have to see is, and I see a lot of people online saying, Tim Welch was just a bad fighter at Bellator, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You have to see one thing. Tim Welch is 6 foot. He used to fight at 170 at welterweight. He's far over 170 right now. I would guess he's like 195-ish, 190-ish, something like that. He's a big fella. Is he training every day like Merab? No, but he's in the gym every day. He's teaching, he's training himself, and as I said, 6 foot, 190-ish pounds. Merab, on the other hand, is 5'6" with heels on, fights at 130, probably walks around at like 150 with 20 pounds being his nose. Just joking, Merab, don't come after me. And weight does matter a lot. Size, height does matter a lot in a street fight. In a street fight, power is so important. And is Merab like a flashy, overhand, knockout, crazy power striker? No. Merab wins his fights by taking people down. What is he gonna do? Shoot the double leg on Tim on the streets? Is it hypothetically possible? Yes, of course. But on the streets, you don't want to be shooting takedowns. You could maybe go for a takedown if you land in the clinch, which often happens in street fight, but first, you're gonna let the hands fly. And if it's just hands, I favor Tim 10 out of 10 times in a street fight setting against Merab Dvalishvili. Tim Welch was not like Ali Abdelaziz, like an 0-3 fighter or something. He was like 14-6 or whatever. He had a very positive record. He knows how to fight. So the chances of you having success against Tim in the street as Merab, it is always possible. Merab is a beast, but I would not really fancy his chances. I would pick Tim in a street fight setting. So for Merab, it's just, why even do that? That's such nonsense what he's doing there. Attack Sugar, not in the streets, but attack Sugar verbally, like have beef with Sugar. You should not have beef with Tim Welch. That's just not what you should do. Write your opinions in the comments, you guys. What do you think? Who started the beef? Is Merab on the right side there? Will Merab win against Tim Welch in the streets? Write it all in the comments, you guys. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, would appreciate that. Check out the Bloodsport merch, bloodshop.net, Blood free shipping with the code free. Check it out, you guys. Stay bloody, and until the next one, bye-bye. Bloodsport out.